Welcome back to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Ananzi on Ravelry and on Instagram and anywhere else. I am Mel-Tran Designs. Today is Sunday, May 1st, 2016. I hope you are well. It's been a little while since I podcasted. I was gone last weekend, which I will talk about muchly. And yeah, I don't remember what episode number this is. It's in the 90s. Yeah, 96 maybe? I don't know. I'll look it up and put it in the show title, so you already know what episode this is. I would like to welcome new viewers and welcome back returning viewers. I hope you enjoy our time together. Go ahead and grab some knitty things or crochet things, or if you're Emily, just stay sitting at your desk working on your numbers. And we're going to hang out for a little bit and talk before I show you my stuff. So, weeks in review. The Fiber Fanatics Unite retreat was last weekend. It was actually over a week ago today, and it was a wonderful success. Everyone had a great time. They learned a lot. They shared a lot. They met new friends. And I am blessed to have been around these wonderful ladies and gentlemen for the weekend. And yeah, I just feel extremely blessed for having all of them in my life and for having their help to make the retreat a success. Because while I put it together, they are what made it amazing. And so any of you who came to the retreat who are watching this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was fantastic. Some of them, even who have gone to other retreats, said it was the best retreat they've ever been to, which, whew, that was awesome. I will go through the days, I guess. And do my best to remember. I didn't write down notes because I figured I would just think about what jumped out and go from there. Thursday, check-in started at 4, and there were a few people there that were there a little bit early, and that was all right. So we got checked in, hauled in a ton of food. I did not take a picture of my van. We took out the back seats, and it was packed. When I was shopping that week, I kind of felt like this must be what it's like to shop for the Duggars. I mean, seriously, it was insane. So, unloaded all the food. Everyone was really helpful. And then, while trying to check people in and get them their name tags and all that kind of stuff, I was trying to figure out the best places to put the food. Because while we have a whole kitchen, it's a stocked kitchen, which is good, except that there's stuff everywhere, so there's not really a place for food. So we were moving stuff around and consolidating, cupboards and shelves and things like that to make room. So much food. Yeah, so then Thursday really was just everybody getting there. We had a nice dinner. And then we did introductions, went around the room, and everyone said their name and where they are from and their favorite thing to make. So a couple people, their favorite thing to make was anything they finished. And I think all of us feel like that sometimes, especially when you've gone for quite a while. Had a fuzzy. When you've gone for quite a while without finishing things, and then you finish 2 or 3 things, it's just like, oh, finally I finished something. So I thought that was a perfect answer. So yeah, that was Thursday, really just hanging out and getting acquainted with the place, and yeah, it was nice. Then Friday was beautiful. It was sunny, and the morning we got up and some of us were sitting outside. It was a little chilly, but not too bad. we were sitting outside talking, and one of the gals leaned over. So this is the first morning. She leans over and she says, so if I already came this year, does that mean I am automatically in for next year? And I was like, wow, you already like it so much you're talking about next year. I could still really screw this thing up. But anyway, I told her that I did not foresee the building overflowing by next year, so she didn't have to worry about that. But it made me happy that people were already wanting to come to, one that wasn't even planned for next year. In my mind, I had intentions for it, but I mean, I still needed to get through this one. So, but it was awesome. Hung out with them for a little while. And my version of the retreat is going to be way different than others. Mostly because I didn't get to just sit around and hang out as much as I would have liked, obviously, because I was having to do stuff. But that's okay. I still thoroughly enjoyed myself. I wish we had some other podcasters who were there, because it would have been interesting to hear how different our experiences were. So if any of you are podcasters and would like to come, stay tuned for information. Anyways, yeah, so that day, let's see, we did breakfast, and then before lunch there was a breakout session. And it was 2 different joins, a Russian join and a braided join. And that had quite a few people in it. And then we had lunch. And I will mention this a few more times. The food was really good. Part of the retreat cost covered breakfast and lunch. But I tried to get a lot of different options. And people seemed to like the options. And yeah, anyway. And then after lunch that day on Friday, we had a two-handed Fair Isle class. So people learned how to, instead of holding both yarns in one hand, they learned how to do that. And the teachers were amazing because they brought a headband pattern with a few different chart options, so that it was a project that people could actually start and finish while at the retreat. Genius. I love that. And and that one, they were only scheduled to be about an hour long, but we had the table set up out in a really wide hallway, so they weren't in, the main room. They sat out there for a couple hours. It was really cool. They just stayed out there and worked and kind of had their own little sub community going on there. It was neat to see. That made me happy. And when the ladies, as the day went on and into the next day, they were like, they'd come over to whoever was closest, or whoever happened to be walking by, and they're like, look, and it was turning into something, and they were so excited. So yeah, so that was cool. And then after that, I'm gonna yawn, hold on. Oh, excuse me. After that was the drop spindle class, and Mitzi taught that, and I'm so glad that she had Tara, because there ended up being like 8 or 10 people in that class, and breakout session, you know what I mean. And what was really neat was some of them, like my friend Amanda, have said for years, I'm not going to spin, I'm not interested in spinning, I don't want to, throughout the years. Well, this was free. And so they're like, it's there. I'm curious, but I might as well give it a try. Not only did she make yarn, she bought the spindle she was using. It was awesome. So most of them bought the spindles that they were using, and they were so happy to be making yarn. It was really cool. So that was all the breakout sessions we had. We did have a weaver there who brought her loom. Sorry if that's shaking. Oh, my cat is right behind it. I'm sitting on my bed, and the cat is right behind it, so when she jumps off, it might shake a little bit. Yeah, anyways, so then, let's see, Friday night, we just had dinner after that. Well, we sat around for a little bit, yeah, had dinner. yeah, just hung out. I was up really late all 3 nights. Note to self next year, don't do that. By Sunday, my brain was mush. So Saturday came around, and that was vendor market day. So after breakfast, we cleared out the main room, and the vendors got there to set up. And we had my friend Priscilla, who does Madsen Originals. I have the cube bag, project bag that I have. That's her. She had some yarn and lots of bags. And we had Terry from Feathergrass Fibers. I have made stuff from her yarns before. It's been a while, but anyway, she was there. And then an indie dyer called Blue Savannah, and you can find her on Etsy. Her stuff is gorgeous. She has gradient sets, and anyway, her stuff is beautiful. We also had my friend Rose. She was selling 31 bags, and myself. I was selling my lotions. Yeah, so we had vendor market that day for a few hours, and then, oh, here's the exciting part. I know, I'm holding my double point, but I'm not knitting, because I'm doing ribbing. I'll show it to you later. I'm doing ribbing, and it's really hard to talk and do ribbing at the same time on double points, because I have to, like, somewhat pay attention, and, yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to stay focused as best I can. Well, and I have it starting on pearls on the needles. It's just how it worked out better, and I have to use more brain power for that. Yes, I know. I could adjust them. Shh, it's fine. It's fine. I just won't knit while I'm sitting here talking to you. So anyway, the building next to the building where we were is the museum. It's an old college campus. So that's the museum. The building next to that one used to be the women's dorms. And down in the basement there was a cafeteria. It's a really big room. The ceilings are like normal height. They're not crazy tall. Just like, what do you have in your house? 9-foot ceilings? Usually? 8 or 9-foot ceilings? It's about like that. The room is 4,500 square feet. The reason I tell you the ceiling height is because when I say 4,500 square feet, you can get an idea of how big that room is. So they have it fixed up, and like they've hosted a prom there. They have a couple of weddings booked. Anyways, depending on the price they are asking, that will be where the vendor market is held next year. So we will be able to not only expand the number of people who come, but we also will be able to expand the vendor market accordingly. And we won't have to clear out the main room where we all have our chairs and stuff set up. They can have a separate building, and there will be enough room that, and there's chairs over there, so we can set up a crafting circle over there and hang out and whatnot. And yeah, so that'll be really cool to expand that direction. So let me see. Yes, then Saturday night we had another amazing dinner, and then after dinner we had show and tell. I love show and tell with other crafters, and we had not only knitters, but my friend Sharon, who's the one that brought her looms. She had a beautiful woven Ruana, and did we have any crocheted stuff shown off? I think one person, no, two people maybe showed off crocheted stuff. I know more than that crocheted while they were there, but as far as the show and tell, they really just picked 1 or 2 things to show off, so I don't know, I don't think anybody picked crocheted stuff to show off necessarily. But anyway, that was so cool. I love seeing what other people are making, and it gives me ideas for stuff I want to make, but it also was neat to see the different levels. We had a couple of really, really beginner people who were like, look, I finished a hat, you know, like their first hat. Or one gal, it was, look, I made another hat, but it's the first time I've made stripes and changed colors like that. So, you know, it's these things that some of us who have been knitting for so long take for granted a little bit, but we're super excited for them because they're excited and so proud of themselves that, you know, we can't help but be proud of them and excited for them and excited with them. And, you know, then you get into the people who have designed their own sweaters and you know, doing the more advanced stuff that encourages those people who haven't been knitting as long. It shows them what they can make. And so I love that we came together and celebrated each other. But then after that, I like having this in my hand. It's kind of nice. Then after that was my personal favorite part of the entire weekend. One of the gals, Emily, hello, was standing over on the side, and it looked like she was wanting to say something. So I said, hey, do you need to say something? She says, nope, I'm just standing here listening, because I was kind of going over the rest of the night and that, you know, we would have to clean up the next morning, blah, 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 just kind of talking about it. And my cat's going to scratch the door. Kitty, 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 kitty. Come here, kitty. And she's like, no, that's all right, you know. And I said, are you sure? You know, and she says, well, all right, essentially. And then proceeded to talk about how much fun she had had and how she wasn't sure if her mom would have a lot of fun because she doesn't knit as much, and that she had had fun and was just, you know, anyways, just kind of sharing appreciation for her experience, and but her appreciation to everyone. And then somebody else piped up and said, you know, and I just want to thank so-and-so and so-and-so for helping me out when I got stuck. And we had our resident, kitty, 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 kitty. We had kind of our resident tech expert. And a couple people said thanks to her because she had helped them with a couple things. And it just, not everyone took a turn, which was fine. I wasn't looking for, you know, that. It just happened. And it was so cool because my whole vision in this was to bring people together. It was to give people a place to hang out and relax and just make new friends and just get away and, you know, learn and build a community. And hearing those responses helped me to know that was, you know, that is what was, that's what happened. If I can speak. It was the perfect way to end the evening. Just perfect. So after that, we hung out and knit, and Marilyn and I shut the place down again. Hi, Marilyn. Kitty, stop. She and I closed it down the 2 of the 3 nights. We were the last ones out there. And I actually get to see her later this summer, which will be super cool. Come here, kitty, kitty. Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Come on. If she comes up here and I pet her, then she won't be clawing at the door. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. Come on. Come here. Come here. Ugh. Oh, this is our Princey. Her full name is Princess Fiona. Anansi was on a Shrek kick when we got her. But anyway, we just call her Princey for short. Here, come sit by me. There we go. Yeah, so that was a fun night. I got to relax a little bit because it was pretty much done by then. So we stayed up crazy late. And then, now I have cat hair all over me. And then Saturday morning, here's what was really cool about Sunday morning, not Saturday, Sunday morning. In my previous experience at a couple retreats, we didn't have to be out of there until noon, but people would just get up and leave on Sunday morning. And it was like, you paid to be here. You might as well, you know, knit for, you know, hang out for a couple hours or whatever. And they just would get up and leave. And I was kind of afraid that that's what everybody would do because we had until noon. And, no, people stayed and they, you know, just took their time, had breakfast, sat and knit for a couple hours. It was really cool. And then I had so much help getting the food loaded up and, you know, packed up and put away and loaded in the van. And we had so much food. Because when people were bringing stuff for the potluck, they only needed to bring enough to feed like 5 or 6. And most dishes make more than that. And so we had leftovers, and we had so much food. So I was sending food home with people, and I mean, I brought some home too, but there was more than I needed. And so I was, sending food home with people, and anyways, it was actually kind of fun packing up too, because there were so many of us. We were, talking and kind of goofing off and having fun and whatnot. So, but we were packed up, and the last people left at about 11:45, and that was just because they stayed until I gave them the okay. They're like, okay, do you have anything else that we can do? I'm like, no, we're good. I'm just going to do one last walkthrough. You guys leave. You're good. Thanks for staying, kind of thing. So we were out of there in plenty of time, and having that empty building to myself to just kind of walk through at the end was kind of nice. It was just my way of just kind of saying goodbye to the weekend and being so incredibly thankful for it. I mean, just so thankful for everything that happened. And it really wouldn't have been possible without the people, just the people who were there. Everyone worked together, and it ran so smoothly. And we had a couple people who were there as helpers. I'm going to have to let her out. They got a bit of a discount on their retreat fee in exchange for helping me out, but they went above and beyond. It was Francis and Carlin, and all they were supposed to do is help me set out and put away breakfast and lunch food. That was it. Carlin ended up being a short order cook. People were in line for omelets from him. Like, it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, I have him booked for next year to come and help us out in exchange for a 100% discount on his retreat fee. I said, if you will agree to do what you did this year, next year, you're coming for free, because there's going to be more people. Let her out. I apologize. This is going to bounce around. Well, get up. Whoop. I'm kicking stuff. Hold on one second. Come on, Kate. Get out. Come on. Oh. All right. Okay, it's going to bounce around while I get back up. Bouncing. Ooh. Close-up shot. All right. Hold on. Don't get motion sick. I'm almost done. All right. There we go. Anyway, so, yeah, they were awesome. And he has agreed to come back next year and cook for all the people who come. My prediction is that we will have 50 people next year. That's my prediction. I know that doesn't sound like a lot when you look at the big retreats that are out there. ZK caps out at 200. I don't remember how many SSK has, but we have a much smaller building. So that's, kind of the drawback on that. But if we can pack it out, that would be so cool. But my prediction is that we'll get up to 50 next year. And if any of you want to come, I have the building reserved for April 27th to the 30th, 2017. So set that in your calendars. If you fly in, we will get you transportation down there. There are lots of people here who are willing to drive, to take on extra passengers just to pitch in for gas. And yes, we will get you down there. The cost is going to stay almost the same. The only change is September will be the registration. It will go through the Blogspot website. Hold on, Quinny, please. It will go through Blogspot into a Google Doc and then into PayPal. If you pay in full in September, it will be $200. Or you can choose the option to pay in 2 payments. And those will be $110 each, one in September and one in February. You'll have 2 different options. So there is a bit of an incentive for you to go ahead and just pay the full thing in September. All of the information, when it gets closer, all of the information will be posted in multiple places. There is a Fiber Fanatics Unite group on Facebook. There's also the Fiber Fanatics Unite group on Ravelry. And then there's fiberfanaticsunite.blogspot.com. The information will be posted in all of those places, so please join any of them. And we will do our best to make sure all of us can spread the word. I'm also going to be working on getting a logo put together. That's my hope anyway. Not my hope, my plan. Get a logo made so that way I can order some stuff with the logo on it. I think that would be cool. Yeah, so I think that's all I have to say about the retreat. After it was done, I went to my sister's house, though, who is only about 70 miles from there, and hung out with her Sunday, and I totally just zoned out. We were watching how-to videos on YouTube, and that was great, because I just kind of was like, and she's like, do you want to do something else? I said, nope. My brain was fried, mostly because I didn't sleep enough, but anyway, yeah, my brain was definitely fried. But Monday, what was kind of cool was my dad came into town over there, because he bought a car and had to go pick it up and drive it home. So I got to see my dad. I took them out to lunch at there was a little hamburger place that we found, just one of those mom and pop places on a corner. And I love trying places like that. And it was good. It did not disappoint. There was fry sauce like dripping out of it. Oh, so good. So good. So I wanted to try it without the kids there, because that would have been a lot more expensive. So if it was gross food, then we were only $13 into it instead of like 30 or, you know, whatever it would be. So yeah, anyway, and then we did tons of work in her yard. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. The house was not lived in for 4 years, and then someone bought it and flipped it, and then she bought it in October, so she couldn't do any yard work because it got cold. So now she was ready to make it look good, and we cut out half her lilac bush that was dead, and little bushy trees that had a bunch of, you know, dead branches and all that kind of stuff. And so I just started yanking stuff, and she was trimming, and it was so much fun. It felt good, you know, when you go outside and you're just in nature in your front yard. When I think nature, I think like the woods, but you know what I mean. You're outside and just using your hands, and oh, my body felt great. A couple days later, it was a little sore, but I was like up on her fence, cutting stuff out of the tree. Oh, it was so much fun. And then I came home Monday night and just passed out. So, and that gets me to this week. It's been kind of a low-key week. I really was lazy most of the days. I went to knitting on Wednesday because Quinn woke up. I went to knitting on Friday night because we are attempting to have a class. It's that whole UPS thing. I finally got the yarn. So the class, I think, is just going to be, we're just going to get together and work through the sweater. I don't even care about the structure at this point. Hi, Quinn. Can you wait a minute, please? Give me a second, if you would. I'm just going to talk to Jake for a second. Hey, Jake, I'm still recording, and Quinn is yelling at the door. There's a app. Good grief. There's an app called Voxer. If you aren't familiar with it, you should look into it. Anyway, not gonna go into it right now because I'm already almost half an hour into it. This week, nothing really happened. Went to knitting and just hung out. Trying to think, nothing, nope. All right, let's get into the knitting because I do have goodies to show you at the end, so stay tuned because there are pretties to see. And I don't have my goodie bag in here. I don't know where I set it down because I thought it was on my chair. When there's a clothes basket right now on my chair with some stuff in it that I just haven't put away yet, and some other stuff from the retreat was there, and I went to grab all of it, and I don't know where it is right now. I will show you. I have a lot to show you anyway, so I'll show you another time. Let's get into the knitting. First thing is, I'm calling them my ugly socks that I actually kind of like now. But these two skeins of yarn were sitting next to each other on my, this is self-striping, from Knit Picks, and this is a variegated from Highland Handmaids. They were sitting next to each other on the shelf, and I was like, I need to put those two together into a static zing sock. They don't go together at all, and so I was like, those are going to be the ugliest socks ever. Well, they're not actually. Surprisingly enough, they're not ugly. Look at this. Doesn't that look cool? I love how the black will go like the whole way across the row. I mean, the variegated is almost like it's doing mini stripes, because you'll get, you know, sometimes the whole row will be orange or white or whatever in there. Anyway, I think they're cool. And here's the back. I love how they're acting. I'm going to put an afterthought heel in. That's why it's just straight. I did use the variegated for the toe, and I'm using it for the cuff. That's what I'm on right now. I'm doing these on size zeros, 2 millimeter. And like I said, they are the Static Zing sock by Megan Williams. It's a fun, fun, fun pattern. I did get kind of bored after a while, but I was like, it's because I didn't put in a heel. That always kind of breaks up the monotony of a pattern. But when I started them, I didn't want to have to mess with measuring, and so I was just like, nah, I'm good. So anyways, so there you go. That is the first one, and since it's in a newly acquired bag, I will just show you the bag and just not show it to you in acquisitions. My friend Amanda, that I talked about becoming a spinner, her mom, unfortunately, is not sewing right now, but she made these fun bags and sent them with Amanda to try to sell them. I sew some, but it's more that I liked the colors in the fabric than the theme of it. And it has this really pretty blue. It has a tab right here, and it's the kind that has the snap top. And then see, it just has the light, the blue with the squares in it. So anyways, so I grabbed that, and I'm loving it. For right now, it's my new favorite bag, because I love that it just opens and snaps shut. So there's thing one on the needles. Thing two is, okay, so remember that sock I started to work on at the retreat? I worked on it, and worked on it, and worked on it, and worked on it. I got this much done. Doesn't that look cool? It's too big. It's way too big. And it's on size 1s. My normal size 1, 64 stitch. I have tried to make like 4 things with this yarn, and I feel so bad for this poor yarn, because it's just so cool looking. So, on a whim, at my sister's house, when I had some time, I decided to cast on a sock head hat. And it's going to be awesome. This is Highland Handmaids in her colorway Uber. Here's how it looks in the skein. I am going to make a sock head hat, and it is going to be so bright and so awesome, and I will love it muchly. And that's what it's going to be, period. That is what it is going to be, and whatever's left over from the skein is going in my 10-stitch blanket. Done. I'm done with the yarn. Not because I don't love it, but because it's cursed. I've just decided that it's cursed and doesn't want to be anything. So it's going to be that, and then it's going to be in my 10-stitch blanket. Alright, and this is on a size 1 right now, and then I'll move up to a size 3. It's in my Girl Cave Bags bag. I totally skipped going on / coming up. Coming up, ZK. Done. 5 weeks. No, 1 month. 4 weeks. 1 month from today it starts, as in June 1st. 1 month from today. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait. I should really start making some lotions, though. I have a lot. It's just the new scents. I kind of sold out of them at my retreat. Yay! So, anyway, so there's that. Next on the needles is my 10-stitch blanket. Trying to make the bed not jerk too much here. Let's hold on. I want to make sure the needles don't slip out. I don't have point protectors that work on Addies, because Addies are, well, whatever. Anyway, so I have I know I put, I guess I didn't put my marker last time I recorded. That's weird. I put a marker where I want to keep track of that I want three rounds from there, but well, I will just show you. I think I remember. Oh, no, here it is. It blended in with the yarn. Okay. So from here up. So I did this self-striping, which was from one of my squares, and then this was also from one of my squares, and then this is some leftover yarn that I've had forever, and that comes all the way to here, and then I'm doing this orange that's from my very first color affection. I have this much of that, and then I actually don't have anything in here for next, so I need to finish some stuff off so I can have some bits and bobs left over. I have larger amounts, but they're a little larger than I would like to have in here. So we'll see. And it smells good because I have this sample of Wolf Farms soap that is the Wolf Farms scent, and I keep it in here. So my bag smells good and my blanket smells good. I totally stole that idea from Dawn. She said that she's talked about it a couple of times, but the first time she said it that I noticed, I happened to have some. I was like, that's a great idea. And this has been such a long-term project. It could potentially, you know, get a little old smelling. So I was glad to have that idea. All right, I think this is the last thing on the needles. Yeah. And this is my Adelia shawl by Laura Ayler. Let me tell you how I really feel. I hate working on this shawl. I love how it looks. Man, I am bored out of my mind. Ugh, it is just, I like mindless. I love mindless stuff. This is, I don't know what it is, but I tell you what, I do not like working on it. So I'm working on it a lot so that it will get done. I just need it to be done and off the needles. So, but that being said, I know a lot of people loved making it. So I think it's just me. It's this really great garter stitch, kind of a basket weave offset. Yeah, that looks like it's making, yeah, the lines are off from each other. So anyway, so I finished the first brick section. I've worked my way through the second and finished the second brick section, and now I'm on the plain knitting again. There is a third brick section after like 32 rows of this, a third brick section and the edging part. I opted for the large because I had so much of this yarn. Anyways, it's a good size. Now, you know, it's going to be a good size. There's just so many stitches on the needles. I don't know. It's just, it's boring me. I've had to increase my needle length. Let me find, yeah, so I got to use my ChowGoo connectors. So now I have a really long needle. This is on size 6s, I'm wanting to say. 7s. I knew it wasn't 6s. I don't know why I said that. The yarn is Universal Yarns Classic Superwash. In a, I don't know, teal and gray. I don't know what the colorways are. Sorry about that. That's all I have for knitting. Let's move on to spinning. I finished one of the pigtails that I was working on. It's this beautiful color. It's Shades of Turquoise from Greenwood Fiberworks. I spun it as a gradient because her pigtails are just short enough that when I split it in half, she had gone through essentially one repeat of the colorway to the center and then back out. So I split it in the center and then spun that way and then plied it. So it is a beautiful gradient. I would say it's probably a lace weight. It's a 2-ply. I don't know, lace weight. Let me look. I have some lace weight right here. Yeah, it's a lace weight. There's about 100 yards of it, so not a ton, but it's pretty, very, very pretty, and I like it muchly. And then when I finish that, I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of these pigtails, because I guess I could buy some of those little battling things. I don't like spinning, you know, 4-ounce braids on here because they take forever. So the next one, I don't have the tag. Oh wait, is this the tag? Yeah, no. I have the cherry cola one in here. I don't think this looks like it might be cherry cola. I don't think it is. Oh, well, either way, it might be, because there's a cherry color and kind of a cola color, but there's ones in the middle, and I thought cherry cola was more of just the cherry and then white for the fizz and then the dark brown. I didn't think there was the pronounced kind of orangey color, but either way, I really like it. I have it split up already. This is the other half, and this is the other half of the first half, so the other quarter. I've only done this much so far on my little Turkish, so there's that. That's all I have for spinning. Acquisitions. For designing, I have a secret thing I'm working on that I think will work. I talked about it last time that I was stuck. I think I have something figured out. I just hope it works. Once it's fully put together, I hope it works, because man, if it doesn't, I'm just gonna burn my brain, because there's, ugh. Anyway, all right, so this awesome bag was gifted to me from Marilyn. I don't think she'll mind that I said her name. She made it, which is awesome, and I told her she should sell them because it's really cool. It's a Japanese knot style bag, but it's big and square, and this fabric is so pretty, and then it just has this nice plain dark red inside, but it has these ribbon ties. So what you do is tie it first together and then put the handle through, so that way it stays together really nicely. I haven't used it yet because I don't have a project to put it in because I have my bigger projects are in other bags and whatnot. But anyway, it's really cool. I was so excited to get it. On top of that, she made a row counter that can count up to 100 rows, because each time you slide these down, it goes to 10 rows, and then say 8, 9, 10, and then you move this little marker down each time you get 10, and then you can work your way down to 100. So yeah, she made that. This just has a little charm on it that says dream. I hate that I don't have autofocus. One of these days I need to try to get a better camera, but they cost money. Alright, so and then there's these cool kind of column beads, and then on the bottom it's just really pretty decorative bead. I don't know if it'll even pick it up with the reflection. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's pretty, and it's lightweight. They're not solid metal. They look like metal, but they're not a solid, so that it's still really lightweight, which I love. And she put them in these cute little organza bags. Alright, let's put it back in there. And then the other thing she made me, I felt so spoiled from her. It was awesome. She made me this set of, I don't know, 1.5 million stitch markers. Look at all these. There are so many in here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 10. So it's a set of 10. Okay, I know that's not 1 million, but it looks like a lot because they're all crammed on there. This beginning of round marker says love on it, and then all of these are flowers that you won't be able to see because I don't have. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can see. So, anyway, lots of fun stitch markers. I love stitch markers. And then from Amanda's mom, the one who made the other bag, I also got a couple more things. I grabbed this project bag because it's really thick. I think it's upholstery fabric actually. And even the inside's cool. Even like, it's just the wrong side, but it's really cool looking. But yeah, it's really, really thick. So I think it's upholstery fabric. But you know what did it for me was this awesome, I love the yellow zipper on the top. And it's nice and big. Has a squared bottom, so that'll be a great, even up to a vest. I don't know that a whole sweater would fit in here, but a vest would, or any shawls or anything like that. And then the third thing I got from her was another pattern keeper. And it looks like this. And the inside fabric is this awesome orange. I love it, love it, love it. There was another one I was deciding between, and then when I opened it and saw the inside of the other one, I was like, nope, done. It's this one. So I got those, and then the other stuff that I got at the vendor market, I got this beautiful hand-dyed silk scarf. And I'm hoping you can see there's lots of different colors. There's yellows. Oh, it's not showing up really very yellow on my side. Hopefully it is on yours. Yellows and almost like a pinks in there, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And Marilyn was showing me all different ways to wear them, and I tell you what, I am going to be fancy schmancy. This is not one of them. I'm just going to put it on when I get to wear it, because and I'm gonna have her remind me of all the ways, because she just stood there. She's a clothing designer, so she's like, you can wear it like this, or do this, or tie, put it on like this. I mean, just poof, 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 poof. And I'm like, I'm so buying this right now, but you have to show me all these things again. So anyway, and even the gal who dyed it, this is from Blue Savannah, she was like, you need to show me all those, because I knew a couple of them, but whoa. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to have lots of fun wearing it. Right now I feel kind of like the aviators, how they, did that, the old school ones. I could tie it as an ascot or something right here. But anyway, it's just fun to play with, and I like to feel fancy, because I'm really, really not. Alright, and also from her was this yarn that is called Violet Jelly Bust, and it's an 80% superwash merino, 20% tussa silk, 450 yards from Blue Savannah, and it's a very springy colorway that's looking a lot more green than it is in person. It's green, but it has a lot of blue undertones to it. That's looking pretty accurate. Then you have this like springy, yellowy color, purples and pinks. It just reminded me of spring, and I love spring. And even though I don't like green and purple together, which is kind of funny because that's essentially what this is, I don't want specific greens and purples together, if that makes sense. And like I said, this has a lot of the blues, and it's very splotchy, and it has kind of a gray undertone to a lot of it, and I think that's part of why I was drawn to it. Anyways, this will make something really cool, maybe even some socks. I think that'd be cool, because the silk would really make it strong. And it's not the shiny silk. It's not shiny at all. But anyway, and it's a I don't know, it's just very nice yarn. So anyway, I got that, and then to finish off from her booth, I was on an orange kick that day. I got this. It's called See a Penny, Pick It Up. Beautiful, beautiful orange. That's not exactly the same. This is like a really true pumpkin-y orange. That's shown up a little bit better. The closer I get, the more yellowy it turns, and it's not like that. It's very very pumpkin-y, very fall, kind of the red orange. But it's so shiny and soft. It says it's a lace weight. I don't buy lace weight yarn. This is not lace weight. This is definitely a fingering weight. I don't care if they call it a lace, if she calls it a lace weight, it is not. Especially because it's 400 yards for 100 grams. Like it's, I don't know, it's not a lace weight. But either way, so pretty. So pretty. So I got that. And then, oh, and her 7-year-old puts these little goodie bags together that she puts in all of her orders. And this is a single that she carries and 3 candies and looks like some tea bag. I just realized that. Is it a bag of tea? Oh, they're green tea pearls. Well, I don't drink green tea. I will have to pass that on to someone. That sounds cool, though. I've never used tea pearls before. But yeah, this is, does it say the colorway? Nope, just has her little tag on it, but it's a fun kind of a minty green. Too bad it's a single. Otherwise, I would put it in my 10-stitch blanket, but I don't even want to mess with that in there. So anyway, there's that. And then the only other thing I got there was another skein of yarn from Feathergrass Fibers. It is a merino worsted 295 yards for 100 grams, which her yarn weights are not correct. The mill that she got them from, worsted weight does not have 300 yards for 100 grams. So that's alright though. I have some other stuff from her, and I just got the nice undyed, well, she has other stuff that's undyed that's brown, so I got the creamy white undyed. It's so soft and squishy. So anyways, that is what I got there. I had the yarn that UPS lost and then bought a new one of. One of the things in there, while the other stuff was for my class, my students, some of the yarn was actually for me to, it was bought by my mother-in-law. Did she pay me back? I need to go check. Either way, she wants a Wednesday's Child poncho, and I told her I would make one for her for Christmas. So I hope that's coming out as blue as it is. It might be turning out green. It's a very, very tealy blue, like a marine blue. Let's see what it's. Doesn't have the name of the colorway. That's right. It's a very marine. I mean, there is green in it, but it's a nice blue. I'm hoping I have leftovers so I can play with it a little bit. And last but not least, I got my first sock blank from the sock blank club that Fiber Nymph Dye Works is doing. And it's, what was the technique? Resist dyed sock blank. I don't know exactly what that means, but here's how it looks. It's green and yellow, the whole thing. That one kind of looks like a fish. So there are little splotches of other colors, but pretty much it's green and yellow the whole time. With kind of some bluey greens in here and yellowy greens around there. So there's that. I will have 2 more coming. I wish it wasn't such a light fingering weight. I have a hard time. I guess I didn't realize that it had so many yards. I don't like fingering weight that comes in amounts of 460 yards because that makes it a very light fingering weight, and I wear through those in socks. So, and I was actually I was thinking about making Jake some socks out of this because I don't wear green, but I don't know, because he will wear through it. He's really hard on socks. Like, he just wears through them like crazy. So this definitely would not stand up to his wear and tear. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, and with future ones, because I guess I just didn't pay attention well enough to realize it wasn't one of her other bases that has less yardage, and which makes it thicker. So I could always drop down to zeros like I have with the regular fingering weight, but I don't know, maybe I don't know, hold it doubled and do something with it, or yeah, I just don't know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Yeah, I'm stumped as to what to do with it. And now with future ones, like I said, apparently I just don't pay attention. Sorry. Sprinkling, I just don't pay attention. So, yeah. If it was different colors, I would consider doing a shawl or something, but I don't wear green, so I don't want a shawl that color. Yeah, I might figure something out. Maybe, I do have, oh, that would make it ugly though. I was gonna say I do have some lace weight that's a merino nylon blend, but it's a dark, it's actually this stuff that I was comparing with earlier. It's red. I don't want to mix those together. I was gonna say I could hold it doubled. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure yet what I'll do with that. If you have suggestions or fell in love with it and want to make me an offer, I would not turn you away. I feel bad though, because it has this tag that was like custom, custom dyed for me, and I know it was. I just don't wear green. That's why socks would be great, but I will just walk right through those. So it's looking like the next two will be shawls or something else. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I haven't given up hope yet. So anyway, I think that's all. I've kept it under an hour, which was my goal. And I look fancy too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you are watching and you came to the retreat, thank you for coming to the retreat. I hope you have enjoyed our time together and that you've been able to get a lot accomplished, and that I'll see you next week. And until next time, keep knitting. Bye.